Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and as always thank you for joining me on my crafting adventures. Today's video is a beginner's guide to Canva. So if you have some experience of Canva or you're a pro at Canva, this video isn't for you. This video is aimed at people who have little or no experience of Canva at all. So I'm just going to log in. I actually have a Canva Pro account, but you can have a free Canva account as well. So as you'll see when you log into Canva, this is kind of your home screen. So any previous designs that you've done will be on this page. And then I always start with creating a design. So if I wanted to make an A4 document, I'd click on here. But as you can see, if you click on that one, it always makes it portrait, and I like to have a landscape A4 document. And I just find it easier to have an A4 document because obviously I'm going to print on an A4 document, so it will tell me what size it will be on my paper. So I'm going to get rid of that one, and then I'm just going to make a custom size. So this is the landscape version of the A4. So 29.7 by 21 centimeters. That's the landscape version. So we're just going to click on that one. And that's in there because that's one that I always choose for a custom size. So this is now my page. So I imagine this is my paper that I'm going to print on now. And Canva has so many things to choose from. These templates, I must admit I don't use this one at all, but they have lots and lots of templates to choose from. So as you can see on the left hand side, there are lots and lots of different options for you to choose from. So elements will be everything that you need to put on your design. So pictures, shapes. You can search for frames where you can put photographs in. There'll be a certain shape. We'll come back to this in a moment. Uploads is anything that you have got stored, like photographs that you would like to put in your design. So any photographs that you've got stored in your computer can be uploaded. Simply just click upload media and it will open your files. It will open your files for you. And then if you just click on your documents and find what you're looking for, and then you can just click on it and it will be in there ready for you. When it's on a bit of a go slow at the moment, my computer, so I do apologise. But when it's loaded up, we just click on it and it inserts it into our document, and then we can change the size of it. We can crop it if we want to. We could edit the image. We'll come back to all of those in a moment as well. So I'm just going to delete that for now. And then if they're in your documents and you don't need them anymore, if they're in your images, just click on that one and you can send it to the trash if you don't need it. So photos, this is one that I actually don't really use. Again, this is not anything that I've ever used in a design, but that doesn't mean it's not useful for other people. So these are just lots and lots of photos that you can use. This is the text. So obviously this one is a larger text. This one is a smaller text. And then this one is a teeny tiny little one. So depending on what design you're making, depends on what size you want your text to be. You can also adjust the size of your text up here and adjust what font you're having. So we can come back to that one as well. I'll just get rid of these. And you can also use any of the combinations that Canva has got. Some of them are pro, so you can only use them if you're a pro member. You won't be able to use them if you just got Canva for free. And then there are different styles, so there are different colour palettes basically. So we'll come back to this as well because it will only really show you if I've got a design already made, and then I can choose a style for it. So a background, all of these pictures can be used for a background. If I click on this one, for example, it will make my whole screen, my whole A4 sheet. It will cover it with that background. There's lots and lots and lots to choose from. There's absolutely tons of backgrounds that you can use. And then this is a function, again, that I don't use very often, but I guess this would be good if you were doing some kind of presentation. So you can just choose a pen, for example, choose a colour, and then you can just draw or write. And then obviously you could erase it if you wanted to. So I'm just going to cancel that. And then logos is where you can upload your own logo. I actually made this logo. This is from my Facebook shop, and I made this in Canva and then just uploaded it. So if you've got one saved, so I made mine in Canva, I saved it to my documents, and then I uploaded it, so that every time I put a photo that's going to go on my Facebook shop, I can just come back to my logo and it's already here, and I can just click on it and it'll insert it into my document. So let's start with our elements. So the first thing I always do is measure whatever I'm going to be sublimating on. So if it was a slate, for example, if it was a coaster, if it was the bottom of some socks, if it was a t-shirt, I would just measure and see how big I wanted the design to be. So then I go to where it's got lines and shapes, and I do see all, and then depending on the shape that so if it was a coaster, for example, I'd click on this one, and then I'd do it the same size that my coaster was, and then I would know that my design would have to fit in here. I imagine this is like the outside edge of my coaster, and then I know I have to fit my design in here and make it a certain size so that it will fit perfectly on my coaster. If I was doing a slate, for example, a square slate, then I would do the same with this, and I would just measure it out as big as my slate was, and then I would know that everything had to fit neatly in here. If I was doing more of a rectangular shape, I could do this and make it into a rectangle, and again everything would need to fit in here in order to fit on whatever blank I'm using. So that is the first thing that I will always do, is to get a shape like this. So let's just imagine that I'm going to sublimate onto a rectangular slate. So, and just imagine that it is that size, so 20.9 wide and 14.4 high, that's in centimetres. So let's just imagine that is my template now, so my design has to fit in here. So I'm going to go back to elements, and I'm just going to show you what some of the things do in elements. I'm just going to show you different things that you can include in there. You can search for anything here in Canva. So if I wanted to search for a forest picture, for example, I'll just put in forest and click OK, and then it will give me lots and lots of options. We've got the real life pictures here. These are quite nice. So if I wanted to, I could make that into the background. And then if I click on this, I can position it. So I can put it backwards, and that will mean that my rectangular shape that I put here to know how big my slate is, that will still show me where I need to keep my design. I need to keep my design in the inside of here. And then I'm just going to show you all the things you can do before I send that to the back again, and then I'll know how big to make it. So with this, there are many options that you can do. So we can do a filter, for example. If I just click on see all, we can change this picture with any of these filters. This one was really nice actually, wasn't it? I might keep that one, but for now I'll just show you the others. That's a pretty one as well. And then if you want to, you can just change it back to none. Let's see if there's any more. Nice black and white one there, a grayscale one. Drama, that one is a good one, but I think I'm going to change mine to this one. And then all I need to do is just go back and click on here, and now that filter is on my picture. So if I wanted to add something else, it looks a bit plain at the moment. If I wanted to add something else to it, I would just go up here. What could I search for? Maybe birds, and we could put some birds in the sky. So birds, lots of different options to choose from. If I choose this one, I should be able to show you. So some of them, depending on what type of picture they are, I'm not going to keep that there obviously, I'm just showing you for the purpose of this video. But this one, if we click on here, this is the colour, and we can change the colour of it, and it started our own little colour palette here because it knows what colours are in our photo. So it gives us some nice suggestions that we can use if we want to match it to our photo, which is a nice option. We can change it to any of these colours on here. And then we also still have the option of editing this image as well. So we could make it look like any of these. This one's quite nice. And then you just apply. I don't want to do that because I don't actually want this bird here, but there's lots and lots and lots of options for us to do. Absolutely tons of options, and then it will give you suggestions as well. So you can go on here, and as you can see, there's so many suggestions. Then this part is obviously the uploads part. So if you wanted to upload a photograph, you could do. Let me just show you a nice little feature first. So in Elements, if you just type in frame, and then you look for this one, the one that's got the little heart and this mountain and sun, it looks like, in it. If you just click on that, it will actually give you so many frames that you can choose from. If we keep going, and I'll show you how these frames work. So you can have letters, for example. If you really wanted, you could spell something out. But what's really cool about these frames, it doesn't keep the cloud and the mountains. If you go to uploads and you find one of your photos, let's see, I'm trying to find a nice photo that will fit in an A. They don't always work very well when it's a letter, but there's one that you could use. I'm going to go back to frames now, and I'm going to choose this one just to show you. Obviously you wouldn't necessarily put it on this background, but this is just a demonstration of what it can do. And the outside of here at the moment is grey. If we click on here, we can change the colour and make it part of our colour palette if we wanted to. That's quite nice. And then if I go back to uploads and I use the same photo, and there we are. So if I want to adjust it, lift it up at all, I just double click on the photo and then I'm able to lift it. And there's a really nice way of putting some photographs in a nice frame. Obviously, let's get rid of this background because this doesn't look great now. We'll get rid of that one. And then we'll put this here. This would be the same principle. Anything that I was making would fit inside this shape. So I'm just going to leave that frame there, and then I'm going to think of maybe a nice quote that we can use. So for this sort of shape, I don't think I'd have a really big one unless I was going to have a name and then a quote underneath. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to type a name, and then I'm going to put it here. And then I'm just going to type a saying. And then I'm just going to stretch this out. Actually, I might do this. so it's on 2 lines. And then I can just find a nice font for these. So for this one, I'm just going to click here, because this is the font that it automatically by default puts anything you type in. I'm just going to click on it, drop down, and then we've got all of these different fonts to choose from. And you can, I quite like this one, but you can use, it's really good, you can click on here and then you'll have like a handwriting one, a corporate one, a display one, headings, and it will give you different. So if I click on display, it will give you different fonts that fit that description. This one's quite nice. I don't know what it is, I always like the ones that look handwritten. So if we go back to handwriting, I love this one, apricots. I'm a little bit obsessed with that one. I use that far too much. And then I love these Amsterdam ones as well. I think they're so pretty. And then once we've chosen our font, we can change our colour if we want to. So if I want to do this one in the same colour that goes around the frame, I can. If I want to do this one in, I don't know, a contrasting colour, I can. Probably wouldn't, but I can if I want to. And then we can add some effects as well to our text. So if we just click on effects, we have all these to choose from. So we've got one that will add a shadow. I might show you one here because it'll be a bit more noticeable. We can add a shadow. We could have lift. We could make it hollow. We could splice it. That one's quite nice. And then we could have glitch, neon. Possibilities are endless. If we wanted to, we could curve it. And then if I come down here, I'll show you. So here's my curve. That's a nice curve, isn't it? You would want it that way. But if I wanted it to go the other way, I can make it go any way that I want to just by moving this little cursor here. That's quite nice. So if I then thought, oh, that looks a little bit plain, I can then search for a picture to go in the background. So I'm going to go to elements. I've got my frame search here. I'm going to go back and then I'm going to search for flowers and see if I could find a nice pretty background that I could use. So they have a mixture. Some of them are really pretty. That's a pretty one. If we position that backwards, it's a bit busy for what we want, but it's still pretty nevertheless. I kind of want one that is just a little bit like this, so it's quite subtle. I'm going to try that one. And then I'm going to position it backwards so that even our rectangle is here, because that will tell us what size we want it to be. And then I'm just going to make it smaller and try and fit it into, oh, don't want to move that one. And try and fit it into our shape. Like that. And then I can just kind of line it up. And I could move this so it's away from the flowers. There are so many things you could do. Obviously, if you were making a real slate, it probably wouldn't look like this. This is just the effects that I'm showing you, everything you can do. But when it comes to when we're ready to print this design, we could just remove the shape and then it would be ready to go. It'd be the right size and everything ready to go. I'm just going to show you the styles before we do anything else. So this one changes my background. I really don't care about my background because this isn't going to be part of my design anyway. But you get the gist of what it does. It changes your font. It changes the colours in your palette. If I do it to this one, you'll see again, changes the font, changes the colours. same as this one. So it shows you the fonts and it shows you the colours that it's going to change it to. That one's actually quite a nice one, but I don't want a theme, so I'm just going to come back. I think this would be helpful if you were using one of those templates. So anything that you do in Canva that you see, if I clicked on here and then I thought, no, I really don't like that, just press my back button and it's gone. So it's fine. You're free to make any kind of mistake that you want to, because you can just click on the back button and it'll be fine. And here, this is a title. Canva has automatically given this a title, because that was the first thing that I typed out when I showed you the text for the first time. So I'm just going to change my title. And then if I click down here, you'll see it says unsaved changes, but there you go, all changes saved. So before you click off or do anything, just make sure that all of your changes are saved. So I don't actually print from Canva directly. I do my design in Canva and then I print from GIMP. I'm going to link in the description box a really helpful person on YouTube that I use to learn a little bit more about GIMP, because I honestly don't know enough about it. I know how to print from there, and I print from there because it supports my ICC profiles. So I'm going to link him in the description box. Feel free to watch him because he really is very helpful. So I'm just going to delete this shape now because I don't need it anymore. And then I'm just going to click download. And I'm going to click transparent background so that all of this white part stays transparent. I don't want to print any of that. I don't want to do anything with that background. That's just my paper. This is all I want to save in my design. And then I'm just going to click download. And then it comes here, but I'm not going to open it or anything from here. I'm going to go in my folders instead. And I'm going to click on downloads. And here it is. And then, look at the date as well. Happy about that date. And then I'm going to go to open with, and I'm going to open with GIMP, because GIMP is already installed on my computer. GIMP is absolutely free, which is why I'm trying to learn more about it, to be honest. So this is how it looks when it comes up in GIMP. And then I'm going to just click on image, color management, convert to color profile, and then I'm going to convert it to my own ICC profile. I'm going to click convert, and then if I wanted to print it, I'm not going to because I don't want this design. But if I wanted to print it, I would go to file and I would go to print, and that is my Sublimation printer. And I would go to preferences, Epson matte. If I was doing on a slate, this would be my paper preferences. So Epson matte, high quality, and then here I don't want automatic color correction, I want custom, and when I click on advanced, I want it to say no color adjustment. And then I'm going to mirror my image because it's going on a slate. I'm just going to click OK, and then I can print. So I hope this video has proved helpful to you. Maybe next time we can do a design from beginning to end. So let me know in the comments box if that would help you. And also let me know if there's anything you want me to cover from Canva that I haven't covered already. But guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.